I'm confused. One week they say Shedeur is not ready. Now they talking about setting him up for success. Which one is it? Because you can't call a man unprepared at the same time building your whole future around him.
There's much of a trade market out there for him. I think, quite honestly, I think the idea that was floated around last week when we didn't know whether or not he was going to be the number 2, they should march in there and ask for a trade. It's categorically some of the dumbest things I've ever heard in sports media. And the fact that it was coming from players was completely mind-blowing to me. I mean, look, he's a 5th-round pick, all right? And, I don't know how many times we have to go through that, but, it's those guys, by definition, are developmental players, So, the idea that, he would take a redshirt year, or he would need a redshirt year, it might be best for him to sit. We've said that about a million different quarterbacks. So why is it, out of the realm of possibility, the best thing for Shedeur Sanders personally, not talking about the team or anything else, is to have that redshirt year and have a chance to learn? And I don't even know, whether or not, he would agree with that, but, I don't know. The conversation on him, and this has nothing to do with him. This isn't him. The conversation around him has gotten so freaking stupid. I can barely handle it anymore. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't think there's much of a trade market out there for him. Based on what we saw in the preseason, I don't know why some team would go and make a trade for him in mid-season. But, if the name recognition is there, then people can latch on to it and fill their segments and their column niches and everything else. So more power to them.
I'm confused. Because 1 minute, he not ready. Then the next minute, y'all want him to be set up for success. Now, this man, Albert Beer, if y'all don't know who he is, he one of the Shedeur biggest haters. He the one that came out and was talking about the Giants narratives before the draft that ultimately led to collusion and made Shedeur fall. Now, him saying Shedeur should take a red shirt year and learn. You telling me that you want to set this man up for success when all this time y'all been bashing him. Why you think the fans upset? Why you think the fans want to see Shedeur play? Why you, in your opinion, the things talking about Shedeur has gotten dumb because y'all, the media, the Browns, them put out these narratives about Shedeur that ain't true. If you would have just came out and said, I said in my last video, if you would have just came out and said exactly what you were going to do with Shedeur, when nobody had no problem, and we couldn't argue with you because you done said it live on the YouTube, in the press conference, national TV, wherever it was, you done said what you was going to do and the plan for Shedeur. If you said Shedeur going to sit a year, we going to go with Dillon Gabriel, everybody would have been cool. But with the Browns playing bad, Shedeur being undermined, blackball, Kaepernick, whatever word you want to use, collusion, with all that going on, of course the fans going to be upset. And don't turn around and tell me he's not ready, he developing slow, and then now you want to protect him?
The thing is even the most ardent Shedeur fan, would have to admit they're nervous about when he takes over based on everything there. Joe Flacco struggled. Joe Flacco's got 18 years experience. 18 or 20? Is it 20? 18. Either way, it's a lot of experience. In some jobs, he could actually retire with full pension in regular life, let alone being in football. He struggled with the offensive line. Dillon Gabriel clearly struggling with the offensive line and the offense. Shedeur, again, I don't think that they did this on purpose to railroad him or anything like that. But you know how the Browns have been, and they haven't always handled situations the very best. You had him throwing the ball, boys. He was going to Baldwin Wallace to get extra work in. 2 weeks ago, was it 2 weeks ago? He was your emergency break glass in case quarterback. Now he's number 2, and now you're going to put him number 1. You can hope that Shedeur Sanders goes out there and defies the odds, because the odds are right now your offensive line will not protect you. The odds is that your offense is archaic and predictable because your weapons don't necessarily know what they're doing. Maybe with the exception of Jerry Jeudy, the problem is Jerry can't hold on to the football right now.
Shedeur already used to not playing with no offensive line. I ain't saying that's a good thing, and I ain't saying it's a bad thing, but he knows what to expect when the offensive line don't block. Now, he gonna try to make plays, but don't tell me, like once again, that you trying to protect him and want him to succeed. You just told me you had him throwing the ball, boys. He working out at a whole nother field. He throwing to the ball boy, not even to the receivers. He's staying after practice, getting extra reps. Now you telling me you want to protect them when you weren't even preparing them. Come on now.
Hold on to the football right now. So the other weapons you have are either young, not really good to begin with, or guys who are unproven because they still don't know the offense. Harold Fannin Jr., who does have a lot of potential, but is still a rookie. Quinshon Judkins, a ton of potential, but is still a rookie. So you don't want to know the truth. You want to deny that. I got people calling me liars here on social media. Okay, but you can't tell me that you have full faith that he's going to go out there and look. So, guys, it's probably going to be even worse because eventually he's going to play for this football team. And if you believe the Browns are going to do Browns things, then the Browns are going to get blamed, and it's going to be bad. So get ready. I want him to play, but I want him to be ready to play. I want him to have a good situation.
Now, if the players don't know the playbook, how you can tell me Shedeur is development slow and he don't know the playbook when clearly Isaiah Bond don't know the playbook? Dude that got hit in the head twice in 2 weeks when Dylan Gabriel done throwing the ball. I don't understand it. Dude came out the courtroom and suited up for the Browns. Then you cut Gage and cut Luke. But you signed dude out the courtroom and he came right there and started playing. It is what it is. I ain't the Browns. But what I'm saying is, man, don't give me that. Talking about you don't want him to play behind his offensive line. They were the same offensive line that were protecting Joe Flacco and Dylan Gabriel. Now, all they did was, we already knew they weren't good. Now, who fought of that? Andrew Barrett. Who fought of that? Jimmy Haslam. If you didn't want Shedeur, why did you draft him? If you don't want to see Shedeur play on a bad football team, why did you draft him? You already knew you was bad, and you continue to be bad. So what I'm saying is, just put Shedeur out there and let him rock. Now, yes, they're gonna blame the Browns. We blame the Browns right now because they could have handled this whole situation totally different. But this the way they wanted to go around. They want to be headlines. They want to be on ESPN every day. They want to get notarized every day. They want to be talked about on the internet every day. So this the road we down. So this the road we gonna deal with. Put Shedeur out there and let's see what he do.
Dylan Gabriel threw the ball 52 times on Sunday. He dropped that 58 times. Like, that is, I think Kevin and Tommy and all those guys are are really good offensive coaches. But I don't know what young quarterback is going to survive in that situation. You know what I mean? Against that defense with that offensive line. He threw the ball 58 plays.
Yeah, and Albert, I think that's why Shedeur fans over the weekend were like, okay, fine. Go ahead, Dylan. Do your best. We'll hang out.
Yeah, I mean, that was the thing. So that's the thing. It's like I think a lot of times these conversations lack context, you know? And I just think look, there are some guys that are better off playing right away. But I'd say 80% of them aren't, you know? I don't think it's a mistake that some of the greatest quarterbacks of all time sat. Dylan Gabriel threw the ball 52 times on Sunday. He dropped.
Now Albert Beer saying that Shedeur gonna be one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Because if Shedeur sitting this long and waiting a year to finally get this opportunity, or 2 years or whatever, Albert Beer saying Shedeur Sanders gonna be one of the greatest quarterbacks. Tom Brady set, Aaron Rodgers set, Brett Favre set, Jordan Love set, Lamar Jackson set. So you telling me that all these great quarterbacks done set, Patrick Mahomes set, Shedeur sitting gonna benefit him and make him one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. So don't tell me that he not ready and put out all these negative narratives. And now, like I told y'all, it's about to start before they put him out there. All these positive narratives gonna come out. It ain't bad that he's sitting. It ain't bad that he's sitting. But before you were saying he's sitting because he ain't ready. He's sitting because he don't know the playbook. He's sitting because he don't know the protection calls. He don't know this. He don't know that. He don't know concepts. He need to learn Mandarin when he know English. That's why you telling me he's sitting. But now all of a sudden, now he's sitting because he's going to be one of the greatest quarterbacks ever. I'm confused. I'm confused. And I'm even more confused when I see something like this. ESPN 2026 mock draft. Jordan Reed, October 15, 2025. The Cleveland Browns in the first round with them 2 first-round picks they got. They're going to take a quarterback. Dante Moore with the 3rd pick overall and Carnell Tate with the 26th overall pick from the Jaguars. 25th, whatever it is. So now you telling me it's a good thing that he's sitting. We don't want him to set him up for failure. We want to set him up for success. But at the same time, y'all telling me y'all going to draft a quarterback in the first round next year. Why? If you telling me you want to set him up for success, why are you out the side of your neck telling me that you're going to draft a quarterback when it's clearly you need an offensive lineman and a receiver? It's clear that you need an offensive line and a wide receiver. You don't need to look for no quarterback. Just take the 2 rookies, Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur, and try them out. Then, if they don't work out after next year, go ahead and draft the quarterback then. Don't tell me you censor Shedeur up for success and you draft the quarterback in April. Browns. Don't tell me that. Y'all been lying this long. How you expect us to believe what you saying when you been lying to us in day one? Now you all up in the fuss and mad because everybody talking should start Shedeur. Start Shedeur. No, don't be mad because you created this narrative. Don't get mad now, Albert. Don't get mad now, Browns. Don't get mad.
My savage. Moneymane in the thing of a T and playing no games. Should I already know my name when I speak in CC Flame. Got my YouTube poppin', man. Like, subscribing, everything in between. You already know. Moneymane. You all